What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here. We're also going to be going over the new Chen changes. Obviously, being a barrel boy, I'm really excited for these. There is a lot going on the new Chen. There's a lot of new build paths. Prior to, I think, this patch, Chen kind of had the same build every game, and that was just kind of how you had to play him. But this new patch is going to introduce a lot of new mechanics, a lot of new cool things for him, and we'll go over all the talents, and then I'll kind of talk about the builds that I think will be the best. So just looking at the level 1 talents here, so it's still the one thing that hasn't changed is Grounding Brew, but it did get buffed. It's going to reduce the damage you take while drinking by 30%. So that's pretty good against like Zags and Thralls poking you, and Jaina's. They're not going to really be able to deal damage to you while you're drinking. So the cool new talent that I think might be powerful, but I'll have to play it a little bit more, is Accumulating Flame. So what I really like about it, not only does it increase the damage of your burn on your fire, but per hero you set on fire, you take 25% reduced damage for 1 second. So if you're burning, let's say in the late game, 2 people with your fire breath, then you're taking 50% reduced damage for 1 second. And when you pair this talent with the 16 talent, Another Round, which is going to decrease the cooldown of your next ability that you cast after casting Keg Smash, then you'll be able to breathe fire and then breathe fire again on a 2-second cooldown before casting your Keg Smash again. So I think that's going to be a really cool kind of synergy going on, and I really kind of like the way those two talents pair together. So the next talent is going to be Freshest Ingredient. The cool thing about this is the regen master. Before it was just flat health. Now it's you retain 50% of your shield indefinitely after drinking. I'm also getting in a message here from the old upstairs. They're saying that every time you hit a hero, you get 1 second for 25%. So it does not stack, it instead increases. So you get 2 seconds if you breathe on 2, and you'd have 25% resistance for those 2 seconds. If you hit 3, it'd be 3 seconds of 25%. So it doesn't scale, but it's still flat 25% resistance, which is sweet. Still combos really well with Another Round. Freshest Ingredients, again, going to this talent. So you get 50% of your shield. It persists indefinitely after drinking. So if you were to take, let's say, the Boulder Flavor talent at 7, which is going to make your shields, I guess this talent doesn't do the exact same thing. The old Boulder Flavor would have increased the shield that you get. Now Boulder Flavor is going to just give you a shield immediately. But I guess you could use that and then go right out of it, and you would keep half of that shield. I don't know. Anyways, this could be pretty good if you're drinking a lot. I could see this talent being cool, but I don't think that it'll be picked up near as much as the other talents will be. So Elusive Brawler is going to be sweet against like Tracer Tychus. Tychus has always been a problem for Chen. So this talent is hilarious against Tychus. Tychus miniguns, you activate this, you get a decreased cooldown of 3 seconds every time he auto attacks you, and this is activated for 2 seconds. So you evade 5 of his autos, and then you can reactivate this. So it's just basically shuts Tychus down as minigun, and Chen's always had a problem against Tychus. I really like this talent. I'm super excited about it, so I cannot wait to use it against Tychus, have him attack me 5 times, and then use it again and have him attack me 5 times, and just have all the autos miss me. But for the most part, I'm going to be taking accumulated autos. Okay, never mind. So again, I'm having another upstairs. It's the first time I've read these tooltips. I need to read them out loud. It says your basic auto attacks reduce this cooldown by 2 seconds. So it's still pretty cool against Tychus. I think it's still going to be effective in that case. You'll still be able to avoid his attacks for 2 seconds and then just auto it back and then avoid it on his minigun, which is where I think a lot of the power of him comes from, is that minigun. So, but we are going to be taking Accumulated Flame at level 1. And then we're going to look into the level 4 talents now. The first one's going to be Deadly Strike. I think this is the one I actually like the most. So your flying kick no longer costs brew, which is the most important part for me. I do like that it increases the damage of it by 100% if you have a shield up, but the no brew cost is why I like it the most. So with Brewmaster's Balance at 7, like when you cast your W and your E, you go to 50 brew, which is the perfect Brewmaster's Balance, right? You get both the regen and the health. Before that, you would Q in, then W, and then E, and then you would be at 40 brew because your Q would cost 10. With this talent, you can Q in, WE, and then you still are at 50 brew. So you'll have your Brewmaster's Balance up after you've queued in, and then you'll have the body block on them. So I really, really like this talent a lot. The next is going to be Keg Toss. Increases your Keg Smash damage by 3 per hit up to 60. After hitting 20 heroes, increase its range. I've always hated the range talent because you slam the barrel slower. So if you're like melee range and you want to throw your barrel there, when you don't have that talent, you just slam it on the ground. But when you have the range talent on Keg, you like underhand like softball, like a little like I don't know, underhand toss, and it takes a few extra seconds. So I've never really liked the range talents. Ring of Fire, however, is pretty cool. Ring of Fire is like an immolation on Chen every time he casts his breath. So it is a sick talent. It could be good. I think Deadly Strike though still, because of the just getting rid of the brew on Q, is going to mean a lot when it comes to Brewmaster's Balance, which I still think is the 7 talent to take, just because it gives you that regeneration, it gives you that movement speed to get away. And I mean, Boulder Flavor, I like this new kind of way of looking at it. When you drink, you immediately get a shield, so you don't spend all your time drinking as Chen. The problem with that though is that, when you drink as Chen, it's kind of like you want to be drinking to get your brew back rather than just hit it and then keep attacking. I could see this becoming a talent that some people take, but I still think Brewmaster's Balance is the way to go. The other one is refreshing elixir. If you have like a medic and the other team has no CC, this could be pretty sweet because you're going to drink a lot and they can just heal you up while you're drinking. But for now, I'm going to take Brewmaster's Balance. At 10, just for the sake of, trying out new Chen, we will be taking Storm, Earth, and Fire. Man, my English is so terrible right now. So we have 3 new abilities when we're in the clones. We have the W, which jumps the Fire and Earth. You have the Q, which increases the move speed of all of them. And you have the E that increases the attack speed of all of the pandas. So you get a little bit more proactiveness on your pandas. Whereas before you were just kind of like smashing your keys at the enemy. Now you're running kind of you have some sort of activatables of your pandas to kind of hit. You can go into a team fight, I think, with the pandas now, because they do, all have the 75% of your maximum health. So they all would have like close to 4,000 health if I split right now and then went into a team fight like that. So I think just for the sake of the new Chen, I will be trying this talent out. I like that there's a little bit more there. So it's 13. This is another cool thing that they've done. They've added pressure point to the level 13 talent rather than being 16. There are some other cool things going on here. Touch of Honey, increase of slow of Keg Smash is pretty good, but I mean, you get the exact same thing on your Q. Why take it on your W now, right? You get I guess for AoE purposes, you could. It does last 3 seconds as well. But I really like this talent. Again, taking Deadly Strike, we're going to have 0 brew costing Qs. Like, that's crazy to think about. So I really like that. Withering Flames is the other one. Setting an enemy hero on fire reduces their ability power by 25% for 3 seconds. So it's like a little spell shield when you burn somebody. It could be cool. I just wish that they hadn't gotten rid of or just added it somewhere, the range on E, right? So if we look back to like this talent, the Keg Toss, like I can't even toss my Keg max range and breathe fire like I used to be able to with the range talent. So I hate that they got rid of that, and they didn't even put it anywhere in the kit. So kind of frustrating, but so we're gonna look at the 16 talent now. So we are gonna be taking pressure point. 16, things get a little interesting again. If the other team has a very, like the hammer, the sergeant hammer, or the medic, the increased range is actually pretty sweet. Makes you even more sticky and hard to get away from for a lot of these, range heroes that are going to kite you. And it can be a choice. But like I talked about before, another round is pretty sweet. And a tooltip that they didn't add is that I believe that it actually increases the radius of the W. Let's see if that's true. As you can see, you get a huge radius on your W. So we're talking, you might slam and hit 3 or 4 people in the slow. And in this case too, maybe even the touch of honey might be the better talent now, right? But I do like how you get the 80% slow on Q if the person is hit by your barrel. So another round, let's turn the toggles off really quick. If you burn a hero and then use an ability, it'll decrease the cooldown of the next ability. So if I W him and then E, I have a 2-second E. So now I can E again, right? Very cool. And again, I'm going to have that resistance level 1. I can maybe even keep a permanent 25% resistance on myself if I play my cards right. So I really like this 16 talent. And we're going to look at the 20 talents now. There's a lot going on here, but I want to say that the best one is going to be either Purifying Brew or Storm Stout Secret Recipe. So if the other team has like some sort of one shot on you and they're trying to, stun you out and kill you, or, you have that Sylvanas that's being pesky, I think this is the best talent. It'll work really good against like ETC slide because it'll slide you and you can go right back to drinking. But I really do like this 1.5% of my maximum health every time I hit a target. So again, when you have like these big barrels and you're jumping in, you're Eing, you're Qing, I'm healing for 90 health every time I hit a person. So I'm getting 500 health heals every time I combo. I will miss having hardened, but I don't think it'll be the end of the world. This talent is pretty cool too. Your spirits are going to get unstoppable when you storm. Your earth is going to have a decreased cooldown to leap, and your attack speed's going to last a little bit longer. So if you're going on this route, it may be better to take this. I do also really I think I like the barrel. If I'm competitive, I'm in a tournament, I think untapped potential on barrel is going to be the best one. You get a 50% hardened shield, basically a damage reduction when you barrel, plus you increase the move speed of your barrel. So before you would dive keeps and you would just kind of get messed up by the buildings, but getting that decreased damage is going to, I think, go a long way. So I'm just kind of go over just really quick the kind of, when you're team fighting, right? I think this is kind of how you'll get on people and keep them from getting away. You'll get all that damage out, and then then you can go right into just hitting away at the person to kill them. So I don't think that you use that talent defensively. Instead, you use it in the beginning aggressively and kind of open the fight up. But we'll see how Chen goes. I have to play a game with him, obviously. We'll see if he's even better in the lane than he was before. I think he will be with that addition to the level 4 talent. So we'll try him out. I'll see you guys in the game, and we'll see how he goes. Alright, so we are going to have Chen this game. Just looking at the compositions again, people are trying these new things out. Nazebo is going to be changed a little bit. Tychus is going to be changed a little bit as well. You have the Zarya. No support on the other team. Not really sure how that's going to work out for them, but they do have Abathur, and this map is insanely big. Checked to go from this point, which it can spawn double nukes here, by the way. 2 nukes can spawn, even 3 sometimes. I guess, maybe not. But I for sure know that 2 nukes can spawn here with a nuke spawning up here. And I rode my mount from here to the top, and it took 25 seconds. So just to show you kind of how big this map is, there's a lot going on. And sometimes, like, especially if the other team has globals, like Abathur or Vikings, they can just take those objectives for free. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you want to fight a 4v5 somewhere else on the map. So I'm going to be taking Accumulating Flame at level 1. So this is every time I set hero on fire. The one problem about this new hero is she has absolutely no escape. So you cannot get caught out like that, as I learned the last game I played as her. I don't think Tracer has the damage to kind of push through me. She can grenade me though. Maybe with the Abahat she can push through damage on me. I'm just gonna focus on pushing the wave. Tracer doesn't have that much wave clear. I can always just Q and auto her a couple times too. And yeah, not to say that Tracer's like a good laner or anything, but I think with the new Chen, he's gonna be even more of a bully. Obviously in this case too, you know, Tracer, again, not the best laner, but should be able to come out of like almost all these trades ahead, as long as I play it correctly. So we're gonna take Deadly Strike again. This is I think the important talent here is just decreasing my Q cooldown. Get ready for the Warhead. Just grab it on spawn. Doesn't look like anybody's up here. I'm gonna get it immediately. It does take 5 seconds before you can cast it, and then if someone stops you from casting it, it goes on a 10-second cooldown. So I'm gonna position it so that I get damage on everything. You can just get free passive stacks here. Man, look at that crit too. Holy moly. That's awesome. Oh man, that's so good. The crit on soaked targets. Just makes him like even more aggressive. Oh man, it's even crit on like it doesn't even, as long as the target, it seems like as long as the target was soaked at some point, like it crits, right? So it retains its crit even if the slow is off of the target. If it's been soaked with brew, it crits. You see the soaked, oh my god, it's so good. That's really good. So I thought it was like the target had to be soaked in order for the kick to happen. So you can see the soak animation, right? No longer soaked. Didn't do it that time. Let me see. Let me try it one more time. Maybe the animation is if it's the case, like it'll be insanely overpowered, but maybe it's not. The crits when I have shields up. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I'm actually insane, guys. I'm thinking about this talent and not. So I crit when I have shields up. My bad. That's right. It's first time playing him. Work with me, guys. The man up above just helped me out. So if you just drink a little bit, then Q, you get the crit. Alright, so even more insane though when you apply that logic. So now you can do exactly what I'm doing here. Q in, WE, and you'll get that first crit when you originally Q in, and you get to Q in for free. Then you'll come out at 50 brew, like I am right now. And you'll have both Brewmasters balance going. Still really strong. So this is a 4 nuke spawn. Should be able to get this one for free again. And then when you get nukes, you like probably should just 007 them. You never want to like run them up the lane because the other team can't see you with the nuke. So if like I want to, let's see how much the direct damage does. Okay, so I'm gonna just go and drop it on this wall actually. Maybe this guy goes into the nuke. I should have gone after him. I was hoping that he would walk into the nuke. Oh, you wanna mess with me, Abbott? I'm gonna come kill your ass, dude. Alright, got an Abbott there to mess up. Alright, let's see if we can get out of here. Jump, Earth! Nice. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We'll go back to the lane now. Get Brightwing. Again, the globals are just going to be insane. Bright's going to be so good on this map. So we get the free Q, free of charge. No more charge on that. That's so good. It's like, it seems like it's not a lot, but it's so much. Being able to Q away is incredible. I like the idea of like walking up when you're like going to damage someone and just drinking for like half of a second before you Q. So I actually almost want to try a touch of honey, but I like pressure point in the fact that it'll always be a slow on a 0-second brew, so I don't ever have to drink to apply the slow, right? Because I have a 0 brew cost at 4. Oh, this is bad news. This is very bad, team. I'm alive! Get the body blocks here. Uh-oh. Ugh! Chen doing Chen things. Alright, I really need to get healthy. Nukes are spawning. Looks like the Tracer just left the game. Unfortunately, I think if the game was going a little more, you know, if it wasn't as one-sided as it is now, I do think the Chen is going to be really, really strong, right? Like, I will say, like, with this map in particular, I'm not super fond of it so far. I've played it twice now, and the team that has the global seems like it's in a better spot. In this case, we have the Brightwing, so the map feels too big. It almost feels like there needed to be an addition of, like, like, they needed to add teleporters or something to get you around. So we're going to take another round. So this is going to allow me to, when I hit a hero, with my abilities after I've cast my W to get a 3-second reduction on my spell that I hit them with. Which is normally going to be my E, right? I really like the new panda too. I like being able to speed up. You can get a serious body block going there. So. But I do like the new Chen talents. I do think that he's going to be a much stronger hero now after them. There are some things that I think can change up. I don't think that this is necessarily the correct build at the moment. After using this, though, I will say I want to take that 20 talent to make my pandas have more health. So I will say that this talent does feel way better. And if you ult into a fight like I just did there, you get a lot more value out of it, I think. So I really do like that talent, I will say. But I like just the overall change to his kit. I think the biggest one for me is Deadly Strike, no longer costing brew. And, you know, you get that 100% increased damage while you have shields up. Someone did point out as well that maybe with that level 1 talent where you retain your shields, the level 1 regen talent, you know, if you have the shield up on you, do you get the Q crit at, you know, at all times, right? I would assume so if the tooltip, you know, doesn't lie, right? And you can also take, you know, Boulder Flavor at 7, instantly drink, then Q, and you get that big shields chunk. But I do think because of the reduction of cost to Q, the Brewmaster's balance becomes way stronger. Chen just becomes a stronger hero. Being able to Q for free means a lot. You used to have to save brew so that you could Q to chase, and now you no longer have to. You also get pressure point at 13, and you know the 16 talents are all very cool. So there's a lot going on there as well. Maybe the range is where we want to be at, but that is going to be it for Chen, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to throw a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter, where I will be doing all of these things live to keep up with me, which will both be located below as well. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next video. Cheers.